All right, so what I want to start with is just drawing the figure first. Drawing the figure, the anatomy, the muscles, the whole 9 yards, and then go to putting clothes on it. I want to copy it and then put clothes on it so that it will be the exact same. So I won't have to redraw it. Makes it easier. And yeah, so yeah. First of all, it's been a minute since I ended up drawing anatomy, doing action pose positions. So first of all, you want to have your lines, and these are just lines. This is I don't want to go past these lines. You don't want to go past these lines. That's why you don't start with the head, because if you do a nice big head, by the time you get down to the feet, it's going off the paper. And I have done that so many times. So you want to start with the torso, leaving a little room for the head. Come on, focus on one hand at least. So, checking my focus again. Leaving, like I said, leaving a little room for the head, just imaginary head. You want to put the torso in. And just remembering when you put the torso in, you have to have room for the feet. So let me draw this just a little bit darker so that you guys can see that, because I'm not seeing it on the monitor. But you don't want to start out drawing dark, because if you erase, then you have all these extra lines, especially if this is going to be like your final picture on this page. So let me go a little darker. And you want to get the form in first. You don't want to try to make it perfect right away. You want to get the form just to make sure it fits on the page. So we have the torso and we have the direction line. I'm going to give a little twist to this guy here. So it's going to be like this. And then I'm going to put the waist, hips, waist. I get those two mixed up all the time here. So it's going to be kind of like doing a little S. And then you have this line, and his head is going to be up here. Like that. Try to make it a little darker, but not too much, too dark where I can't erase. So when we have this little twist, you have to connect this. And when you have, well, let's do this. Let's bend this a little bit. His collarbone, instead of being straight across, I'm going to twist it down a little bit. Find me another piece of paper. Don't go blurring on me now. So I told you, don't go blurring on me now. Focus, focus, focus on something. All right. So this one, I have the torso this way, tilting down. That this collarbone is tilting down. He's turning, so he's going to be like leaning down a little bit. So regularly, if you have the collarbone straight across like that, even if you have it this way, straight across like that, he's not tilting. So when you have this, and then you put your waist here, this is going to pinch right here. It's going to come in and pinch and then go back out, and this is going to be stretched. So it's going to look like this. Good pin, good pin. This is going to come all the way down. This is going to come in and pinch somewhere, and then it's going to come out like that. And that plays a big role on your pose when you put clothes on a person or a figure. All right. Make sure you don't want to go bonkers on me again. So, like I said, this is just a rough. So, because a lot of you, if you continue to be if you've been with me for a while, you know I always use the upside down house. But I put that on later, just like I put like the waist on. And you don't want to have too much space between this and this. It depends on what you're doing, or how tall the character is. So I'm going to bring one leg out. I'm going to bring one leg kind of back and bend it a little bit. So what I do is an oval until I get the right distance. And this is a practice thing. You just, from years of doing it, practice, and you figure out how big the oval is or how long the oval is. Knee, and then, because you want the feet, they're going to be kind of like that. Knee and there. And I know I can see some people like, oh, you're going too fast, you're going too fast. I'll bend that leg back a little bit more, maybe bring it back just a tad. Not trying to go for perfection. Knot. Well, maybe not, because it's just a bit back. It's just a bit higher than the other leg. It's just a bit higher than what it was from the beginning. So this is kind of almost straight. This might be a little too long, but we're not going to go on that. The body's twisted. This is tilted down, so we have your delts here, delt up here. I'm going to put this arm kind of down. And when you do arms, you're going to do your circle, oval, and then your triangle. Like that. And then round that off. Cut that here, because this part of the forearm is wider and it goes down into narrower in the wrist. So you just cut it off where you want to before you get to the point. And then you put the hand however you want to put the hand. Doing a hand is like half a triangle like this. You have that shape. Then from the back you put the thumb however. And then you have your fingers. Now whenever you have your fingers, whenever you put your hand out, I burn myself. Yeah, that's what that is. You're always going to see that middle finger. That middle finger is higher than the rest. So you're going to see that middle finger. This finger is going to come up and it goes into that skin here and then higher finger there. No, it doesn't hurt. It's healing now. It doesn't hurt anymore. It's just the skin is peeling. So you have this finger, this first one, which will actually be the middle finger. And then you have this second, the first finger, which is your second finger, like that. You can put a third and fourth in there, but a lot of times, depending on the angle, you don't really see those other fingers. I only do draw three fingers. That's just me, because I kind of put these two together. It's just me, because when you put the other finger coming out, then you end up having to draw some palm. So I usually don't do that. So this hand is down. This hand, or this arm, is going to be back. So because he's twisted like this is coming around like that. And then you're going to see some bicep, like he's about to clock somebody. So you have this circle, oval, but because it's behind the body some, you're not going to see it. It's actually, instead of it being, don't blur on me, instead of it being like this, it's going to go straight down like that, the arm straight down. It's going to go back. How do I have that? It's going to go back. So cylinder, if you have your cylinder, if you have your straight cylinder, it's blurred on me. Thank goodness for looking at the monitor. If you have your cylinder, straight cylinder here, that's going straight down. But if I took it back, if I took this, like this is here, straight, but I took it back a little bit, like the arm. So then you're going with the circle, going with a circle like that. This part, and if the other part of the arm is coming down, then you do the circle or the cylinder that way. And it's just stacking up cylinders, or taking cylinders and twisting it. And at the top, you'll have the circle for your delt. So if I turn this into an arm, I was waiting for my camera to blur. It comes out like this. Here's your bicep. Then your triceps back here. And then this right here, if you're really muscular, this turns into a little V. And then it separates the forearm, the muscle, like that. And it goes to I think this goes over to the thumb. But you just separate it right here. You don't take it all the way up. And then you put your fists, however you want to put your fists, like that. So that's how you do an arm. And I'll give these little tips in all of my videos when I'm drawing these. So that's what makes your video a little longer. But a lot of you true artists write in and say, I like the long videos because you actually get to learn something. So we're going to bring this one out. So again, we're going to curve that. And then, because this is a cylinder like that. And it's all about cylinders. You know, if it's straight down, if it's pointing toward you, and just say the hand was here, then you would have to see that circle where you wouldn't see the other end of the circle. I really want to get into that. Fists start out round, and then you just square it off. However it is, these are the front of your fingers, like that. Your thumb is going to go here. Once you put that thumb there, then you kind of know where you're going anyway. And then this comes like this. The front I'm saying this is at an angle. The first finger is out this way. It's not flat. So I don't want to pencil or try to ink this because this is kind of like the test page. So like that. So yeah, and then of course you have your neck. You have this, so you're gonna have to put your neck here. It's going to be a V right there at this point, at the point in the collarbone. Maybe not have that neck go that far over, or that head go that far over. And then you want to add your triangle here and here. That's going to be kind of scrunched up because it's turned. And then you put your head on, however you put your head on. Let's just say the chin is here. So he's kind of like leaning over like he's about to just punch somebody straight in the face for taking a bite from his ice cream. Or whatever reason you would just punch somebody in the face. So yeah, that's your basic position. So it fits on the page. It looks good. It's not too long, too short. So now we want to add the anatomy. So that's basically when you're doing this, you just want to do a rough, even rougher. I have to go somewhat fast or mine will be stiff. Got that, got this. You have this down here, not too much space in there. You got one leg here, one leg here, which is just oval, oval. Circle for your knee, circle for your knee. This one's going to be straight out. This one's going to be bent a little bit. Your foot here, use your weight is on this foot there. And this one's going to come out. Your collarbone is tilted forward like you're about to rush in. This hand is down. You can do either just a straight line for the time being to get to the length. This one is bent, so you just half oval, and then the other half like that, fist. Then you do your oval and your triangle like that. The hand is here and the head is there. So that's your rough like that. That's about as fast as you should be doing it, or you shouldn't be really doing it slow because you're putting too much detail into it. And then when you get it, then you say to yourself, okay, this is too short, or this is too long, or this is not shaped right, and then you work with that. But as long as you have your picture on the page, like you say, okay, his thighs are a little bigger. Let's give it some calves, bring that down a little bit more. Bring this down a little bit more. Widen it, calf here, calf should be there. Make this down longer. And like that. So basically that's how you should be drawing, and then you come back and then you put your detail, which you're going to do now. So this, I'm going to drop this down a little bit. I want this up high because this is relaxed. This is relaxed. Chest, center of the chest here. I like to do like a little upside down U and then curve it around. Curve it around because if you do, and I told you it's been a minute since I did anatomy because I didn't show you guys the beetle technique. For those guys are new who have just joined they've just seen the video. You just found my channel. There's a technique I use, I call it the beetle. It's just where you can't mess up drawing the torso. Go back and check some of my videos out. If you're at my home page, go to my home page and then hit the videos, which is over the welcome, which I kind of point to it when I did my new welcome. And then you see all my videos and check on one of the ones that show you how to do torso. And then you will see how to do the torso without any flaws or messing up or anything like that, because I show you how to do torso. So as I say, here's your V right here, is that little point at the bicep. So that comes down, so you split the two like that. Your bicep and your tricep are separate because there's another muscle that comes between there, but sometimes I don't do that because it's too much. Because it is between the bicep and the tricep. Which arm am I working with? Arm, bicep. This, you have your bicep, you have your tricep, but there's another muscle that comes down and then it goes into this muscle here. Yeah, it's a lot of lines, but yeah. Check out my arm video. I believe I did show you that there. And let's give him a little more neck here. Collarbone. And bicep. That V. And I could shorten this a little bit. The shorter it is, the more it's pointed at you. So if I take this pencil and I have it straight down, it's a long pencil, but the more I point it toward you, the shorter it gets. So that's the same thing when you're doing an arm. If I'm doing an arm, like if I have to take this arm and I point it fist right up at you, it's nice acrobatics with your pencil. It would be like this: your back circle, front circle. Okay, back circle and front circle. It shortens. Okay, back circle and then your front circle like this. The shorter you make the cylinder, the more it's pointed at you, and then there would be the fist right here. Thumb, fingers, thumb, and your fingers here, and this is the back of your hand, your fingers. What's your thumb? Thumb's over your first finger. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it goes back. Because when you make a fist, more likely you see a lot of this, some of this, unless the fist is pointed directly at you, but you'll still see some of this. Okay, so that's what that is. And then comes here, around, and your bicep, tricep, elbow, and then your delt is right in between the two. So that's what you do if you're trying to draw a fist or arm or leg pointing at you. You just draw the cylinder and you shorten it. Yeah, baby, Brian, the teacher, is back. So like this. It could be a little thicker. It could be a little shorter too, but where's the thumb? This is it. This goes like this, and the palm. I might not show that. I might change that a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. So we have the chest. We have the abs. So what you want to do is that first set of abs or on the second set. Everybody's abs are different. Since it curves here, this is going to be one set of abs right here. It makes it easier, especially when you bend down. When somebody bends over, you can bend it right there at that abs. You have the second set here. You can leave this first set, which is the biggest part, or you can break that into another set because some people have actually more abs. So that's why you don't want to put, the chest comes down a good little ways. The chest stops just a little shy of this little mountain right here, this little tunnel. So as I said, as it curves around, it kind of like actually goes a little below the abs. But everybody's abs are different. But just for the sake of it, just put that on the abs. That way when you bend it down, you're crunching right here. Second set. And depending on how muscular the person is, I usually do this little rib thing here. You're from here out, down like that. A little triangle. Triangle, yes. This is your nipple would actually fall here, and this would be your the rib cage, or where your ribs are showing here and here, and then your lats are here. Is this blurring on me? No. But now the one thing about this is if you are doing clothes, none of this will show. So I'm showing all the muscles so that you can kind of get a two for one kind of. And if you want to get them a little more lats come out here and then down and then down. You won't see lats here because he's twisted around. So you got to remember this whole part is round. This whole thing is round. All this is round. So when you put your clothes on them, you're just remembering it's all round. Okay, room for the man junk here. Your legs, it's going to come up and then down into that knee, which is kind of pointed out, sticking out. And that's going to be a factor when you draw clothes because that's pushing against the fabric. Calf. This is a pinch right here. Comes up. Same thing here. Now I usually just draw that inner thigh muscle right there. And that helps me to determine how long a leg is. So I'll bring that knee up a little bit more. Maybe out some more. So that knee is going to fit. When these two muscles come up, one comes like this, the other comes like that, and it makes a V, and you split. But you have to know where the center of your leg is because you don't want it to be off. And that knee actually fits, tucks up inside that little diamond shape. I just draw a diamond for a knee like that. And then you have this little piece here, and then it goes right down into, it comes out and it goes in, and that forms your bone, and your calf comes here. Your shin bone is like right here. Well, that is way too long, Brian, because I got my knee up here and I'm following my old lines. See, I don't want to take 45 minutes drawing the muscle and then take another 30 minutes drawing the clothes on the person. So you have this here, it curves into there, then you have your calf, then part of it here. And legs, I like to give it a little curve in. It's not just straight, it kind of gives that little curve, just makes it look better. And then you put your foot. However you're going to put your foot. Sometimes you will see a little bit of heel back here, sometimes you won't, depending on the angle of the foot. But if you keep it on a straight line here, then you'll know where your toe is going to be at. And if you're going to see some heel or not. So let's give just a little bit of leg muscle here. So you're going to have this here. And as I said, this is kind of like, it's like a little teardrop, I guess. And remember they have that V right here. So this is going to be this, which curves into that. You have that little V, and this other part has this this part. And I think this is the bigger muscle, if I'm not mistaken. V here, and then your knee would be right here. Between the two. Bring that down. Actually, one is higher than the other, but I guess it's, if you flex, if you're flexing, it won't be. Because this is bent back, so it's going to be like this. You'll see the top of that opening, and then there. The foot. Now, look at it in the monitor. That might be a little further back than I want it to be. But the thing is, once you draw something, don't say, oh, it's finished. Walk away from your drawing for at least about 5 or 10 minutes. And then when you come back, you'll be able to see your mistakes. Or if something needs to be corrected. Like, the abs come in and you're going to see some waist. You're going to see a little bit of waist over here. And it took me a long time to figure that out because I always thought the abs were right on the end. But no, because you have that oblique, which comes down into your crotch. And all this is basically your leg, and then you'll see some buttocks right here, realistically. Depends on how much you turn. So it's going to come here, and go in, and it's going to follow, and it's going to go right into that crotch like that. And I say, this is going to be your legs, and this is the buttocks part. Or the hip waist, where you start to turn to see the buttocks. But people don't draw that. They just draw the upside down house. So, yeah. I'm still thinking this is a little short, but it is going back. So I'm going to walk away from this for a minute, and I'm going to come back, and then we'll be straight, and I'll be able to see. Remember, this cuts in here to there. This goes into this. That one goes here. Cuts into there. So, yeah, I think that's going to be it for this, but I'm going to walk away and then come back and check it and see if I like that leg, or do I see something wrong with that leg. In the monitor, it's looking a little short, but it is going back. I guess if I had it over here more, we'll see. All right, so I took a little quick break just so I can get away from the picture, and it's not bad. It's not bad. Only thing I would do, I think I would reduce the space between this, the torso, and the hips. But he could be a skinny guy. Now, I mean, if he's too skinny, you just widen it up a little bit. You just bring this out more, bring that out more, and then bring it, and you know, you give him a little more wideness. But because we're going to cover this with clothes, I'm not going to really, what's the word I'm saying? Really worry about anatomy too much. So yeah, let me one last look at this. The muscle comes from here, here. So that's going to be over the actual chin. I mean, over the shoulder, depending on how much the head is down, or depending on how the angle of the camera angle, where you have a V here. So cranium right here comes down into that shoulder, right here comes up. And because his chin is going up, and this will go around, and then you have the center of your face is going to be straight here to this point, and then curve around. So yeah, it's not a face anatomy, it's just clothes anatomy, but I'm double checking everything. So yeah, I think that's going to be it. Let's put some fabrics on this guy. All right, here we are back with the position again. Now, I had to change this. I kept looking at this. I think that was the last thing I was working on. And it's because this was straight across and not more of a V, because he is leaning down. So I had to go back and change that. I knew something was wrong, but I just kept fiddling with it until I figured it out the next day, because it is the next day. So, all right, let's put some clothes on this guy. So this, I made a photocopy of it so we can see without and with clothes. So that'll be the thumbnail. So let's put some basic clothes on this. So I don't want to start out too difficult, too hard. So let's go and put just a jeans and t-shirt on this guy. T-shirt, short sleeve t-shirt. Now, go back to the first video that I did on the kind of introduction to doing this, which I will link at the end. It'll be linked down below. And at the end of the video, you can just click onto it. So I'm trying to make this quick, under 30 minutes. Hopefully, t-shirt is done. Basically, rectangle, a U, and two small boxes. That's basically your t-shirt. Okay, now if you have something on the bottom of a t-shirt, like one of those t-shirts with the little fabric thing on it, yeah, same thing. Or if you have a long sleeve shirt, goes in, has that little piece on it like that. There you go, t-shirt, long sleeve shirt with the thing. And you can do a second line like that for the thing. This dips down a little bit, but you'll have, most times you'll have somebody in this, so you won't see the back of the t-shirt or the inside. And you can have that, and if you need be, you can have this little thing that's that kind of fabric. Okay, we can get into that. So anyway, the one thing we want to take note is the seams right here and right here. Now, wherever something is seamed together or stitched together, it's going to be called an anchor point. So it's going to hold right here. I guess that's why they call it an anchor point. And it's going to pull from wherever that anchor point is. So in pants, shirts, whatever, wherever it is seamed, two pieces are put together, that's where they're going to pull from that point. Even like right here, you know, right here, depending on how you turn and stretch and the material. So let's just put a little t-shirt on this guy first. And remembering everything is round. This whole, everything, these are cylinders. Basically, this is a big one round oval. This is a little cylinder. And this thing is roundish too. It's roundish too, round enough. So whenever you put a line across it, like if I'm going to put a belt on them, I'm not going to put that belt straight across like that. That belt is not going to be straight across. It's going to have some roundness to it. And kind of in a way, I should be drawing on the photocopy, so nothing will get erased that I don't want erased, but I have to erase it eventually. So okay, so sleeve, round on that bicep, round on this bicep. Now, if I wanted to make the sleeve a little bigger, shirt a little bigger, and I'll do that on one of them, have like an oversized shirt, I'll just keep coming off all the way like this. And then you have like an oversized sleeve. But I'm sure if you're doing a superhero, you want the shirt nice and tight to show off the muscles. So you're gonna come around here, and the seam for that shirt, as I said, right here, it's gonna cut right somewhere right across the middle of your delt. So remembering this is round too, so you're gonna round that off. And round this off, and then it's going to come down, and it's going to be tight on the guy, so it's going to be here. You have a little hang here because this part of the body is doing this. So if you have fabric is going to come in a little bit and then go out, unless it's like gets stuck in the meat. and that would be another pinch point. So for this, we're going to have seriously super tight shirt on, just, you know, one of those crazy tight shirts. So basically, you're going to kind of more than likely follow the contour of the line. And if you want it tucked in, you would have to do where your pants start. If you don't want it tucked in, you would bring it down and then curve it around like so. So I'm going to probably tuck it in. But first, let's do the like the pinch points. So let's work on the shoulder. The shoulder's it's gonna be tight on the shoulder, like shirts are. And then you're gonna have your opening. Like that, going around the neck. So like I said, most of this detail is gonna be gone anyway. So when you're trying to draw something and you know there's going to be clothes, you really don't have to go crazy with the detail of trying to get the anatomy right, like the ribs, and you know, you might have a couple abs with shadow if you do the shadow on your clothes. So let's just put a belt on this guy. So the belt is going to be round, or the top of the pants are going to be round, like that. So that could be either the top of the shirt or just the pants. So the pinch points would be, since he's turning, and because this is going in, like I said here, you will have a point where the fabric is pulling, because he is twisted, his body is twisted. So it's going to come out. You're going to have just your basic ones. You know, we're not going to go crazy. Come like this, usually 2 or 3. And maybe like a twist. And if something twists off, like if a wrinkle comes and it twists off, you're going to have kind of like just a, what would I call that? It will come off and it would kind of go around like that. You just have something you have to practice. And you'll get that in a lot of material. But you don't want to go too crazy. So go here, and you can take it as far as you want. You can add as many wrinkles as you want. It's going to be pulling, like, say, right about here. And then maybe, because this is a curve here, right about there. You don't want to go too crazy, and I'm going to magic marker ink this. And then probably erase whatever muscle that I don't need. So since the chest is pulling here, you're going to get some from here. I should have showed you the thing because you might not see the first video. All right, so let me go back to the first video. Let's just do this. Let's do this. My quick man. And this is how you should be drawing whenever you're coming up with just an idea. Wherever the belt is, put a line here, bring this in and back out. Bring it in and back out. You have a shapely kind of figure. So your pinch points are going to be like under the arms, between the legs. And yeah, that's your basic ones. So it's going to come out like this, just like you would do like a star, like that. It's going to be like that because that's where you move at. Same thing here. Those are going to be your basic lines. Now, if you twist your body, whichever way you twist, where it's snagging at, then you'll get like lines that come from there, from that point where it's snagging at or holding from. I'm trying to think where else. You might get a few lines like where you bend your arms at. Here, maybe depends on the material and how you bend your arms. But these are the basic points right here, here. So you'll always get some lines from these areas. Your basic ones. Remember, wherever you twist, it's going to go in that direction, wherever it grabs from. So back to this. You don't want to have too much, you know, and in your chest, you can have because it's tight on the chest, you have like these pull lines. Go back to the first video, as I said, where I showed you a towel and how a towel pulls when you pull from it. And I'm twisting, I'm really leaning to see this because it's so much glare on this. Now, jeans, let me get the old paper. Okay, you can blur for a second if you want, because let me get the old paper. This is in the first video. You have to understand the make of something before you draw it. And these are basically how jeans are made with these particular lines. So jeans on them, and I want to say the women's are reversed. You have this for your zipper, you have this, and you have the zipper cover, and then you still have that little seam right there. You're always going to have that double seam like on the side because the denim is so thick. They have to do a double sew on it. Same way with your pockets and the back of your pockets, the seam in the middle, the double line, the pocket, because it's just so thick. So it's not going to wrinkle like cotton, but you will have a few more large size wrinkles. So let's do the jeans. Put them in jeans, and basically you have to know, just take some jeans out, look at it, and you'll understand. It's like, I think, left side or right side. I'll never really get that. So we'll get a little bit of bend right here and right here. And you're going to have some here because the leg moves here, there, and then maybe a little bit there. As I said, this is always one of your points here. So like this, and maybe one like that. And the more it's bent, or the more it's stretched. So when you straighten your leg out, you'll have more wrinkles from that pinch point, which is in here, where that seam is down in here. You have two sides to your jeans where they sew them together. So in those 2 points, it's going to be like an anchor point, which pinches and kind of pulls. So because you bend here, you're going to have that crease here, and then here as well. And a lot of it is just feel. You feel for it. If you want to put the wrinkles, you can, or if you want to put a lot on, you can. It's just, you feel it. You say, okay, this is all I want, or I want some more, and you just go from there. So jeans, I'm going to come down. And they're not going to be too tight. Right there, there's going to be that bend. So when you bend fabric, when you push fabric together, it kind of bunches up and down, up and down, up and down. I can't do this with a piece of paper, but you just know you have an overlap. So it's going to be like this overlap here. And you have the other underlap. It's going to over, under, and then it comes back out like that. You're always going to have that. And where your knees are, I need that towel. I need to be drawing it instead of getting the old examples. Wherever something bulges out, you will have pulls like that. I mean, if it's really bulging out, you get more of it than if it's just touching it. Now, it depends on how far you want it to come down. You can have it come down more. But I'm assuming you did watch that first video. So watch that first video, and then this will make a lot more sense. And then the next video, I will assume you didn't watch it, and then I'll go into more detail. But I've already jumped into this, so I don't want to kind of stop and go back. And I'm still twisting. I am sitting like at a real angle to see this. See these lines. Now, because you have your leg, because I'm seeing that, you'll see that seam. And you might not. So let's bring this down. And this is a thick part, so the jean's going to hit here. And it's not going to hit right there. This is thick right here, or point, so it's going to hit here and go down here. Same thing here. It's going to ride on this because gravity pushes it down. It's going to hit that, hit this, and then along there like that. Now, you could have some right here, but the knee is really not hitting. And as I said, jeans are a totally different creature from like cotton. So let's do this because you have these wrinkles here. It's going to come down and over these little bumps, wrinkles, and then go back up same way. And that gives it that appearance that it is wrinkled. And then you can just kind of like follow those lines in your jeans. And then of course, as I say, it comes down, you still have that seam right here. Now, whenever you have two large wrinkles, let's just say, let me use one of these. Let's say this one and this one. So it's just a mountain. It goes up and down like that. So whenever you have two, you're going to have one in the center. And this is more for like cotton or when stuff is like really bunched together. Like if a sleeve was pushed together, then you would have that. You say like you'd have one here, one there, one in the center. This creates another one right here. This creates another one right here. So it's kind of like a piece puzzle, which we'll get into that when I do stuff that has more bends like this one. If I did that one, a lot of this would be bunched up on top of another. So it's kind of like a wave. When you push clothes together, if this was a flat table and I had a cloth on top of it and I pushed it together, it would look like this. Kind of like that. Depending on how close I put them together, they would look like this. So when you're turning it and looking at it forward, it has a whole totally different look to it. It's scrunched up, so you'd have to have. It's kind of hard to do if I'm not. It's kind of like this, and then you have another one back here, another one back here, another one back there. So these wrinkles will be kind of like all bunched up together over top of one another, like a mountain. So we're saying it will go around. Some of them will go around the actual arm. The fabric would come around to do what I showed you. Where was it at? It's over here somewhere. So anyway, yeah. So you would draw the arm first, however you would draw your arm, front circle, back circle, and then you would draw your wrinkles bunched up, going off the arm if you need be. Second one would come up. Third one would come like this. And the best thing to do is just kind of like study this stuff. Just don't make it up because then it looks bad. And if you're putting too many in there, it looks bad anyway. And if you're putting too many and it's wrong, it looks even worse. So yeah. Take a picture of yourself in clothes. Pose, take a picture of yourself if need be. So, okay, jeans. I think I'm gonna have the pants tucked in, so I'm going to have this other layer or this other stitch right here. Then you have your belt hooks. No belt, so we're gonna have the button belt hooks. And then on the side, it's going to have some scrunches. And of course, this is going to be tight right there. You don't want too many wrinkles. Going down, it's going to kind of touch, but it's going to hit that knee and then come down. Touch here and then come down, and that's the same thing with the bottom. If it's wrinkled, you're going to have these folds. It's going to like an accordion. Like one goes in, comes out. You have another one like that. One here. And that's if the pants are long enough and are sitting on top of the shoe and pushing the pants leg up. If it's stretched out like this, you won't have that. You may have, because of this calf here, you may have just a little slight little wrinkle here. And then So because of the knee and close wrinkles, if you have that, you're going to have it's an up and down valley kind of a thing. So when I ink it, you'll kind of see it come to life. Looking at it now, right here, this is going to be like a pinch point here. So you can have where the fabric pinched together. This is open here, maybe right here. So basically, I guess to start out, you want to do a V, just like if this was, let's just say an arm. And it's like that. Just start out with a V, 2 pieces, and then a valley. So it's going to be like an up and down, curving it around, because one leads to another. So when you go up to the top of the mountain, you got to come back down, and you got to go back to the top, which means you have to come back down again. Look at the first video. I'll leave that link. I think this might be it for this, because I can't really think of anything else. Let's do the pockets. Pockets on jeans. The pockets are kind of curved around, remembering you have that lumps in it, and it has a little change pocket too. So you got your seam right here. It's going to come down about right there. You may not see that because you're almost seeing the front of this. And yeah, I think that's it. As I said, you don't want to go too crazy, because then he just looks like he needs an iron. His clothes. Excuse me for 1 second while I turn this light on so I can see what kind of mess I made. All right. Now, if you're doing shadows, we'll do shadows later, like for the abs, but yeah, we'll do that later. So this shirt is tucked in. Let's just say the shirt is tucked in. Anytime you tuck something in, it's not going to be smooth out. If this is your pants, and I tuck your shirt in, it's not going to be smooth like that. It's going to have a little bulge like that coming out. And then, am I focused? Camera, am I focused? Then it's going to have like these triangles like that. And that's how your clothes look when you tuck something in. Just like if this is your arm and he has a shirt on, but he has a wristband, a tight wristband on his a band on his arm. The shirt is going to bulge out like this, because showing that the thing is tight on his arm. And then you're going to have these triangles that actually show that this thing is, the fabric is being, what's the word? Pressed down on his arm, or pressed down wherever. This could be on his leg. It could be like a holster for a gun. It could be the belt. It could be any strap that is strapped over top of loose fabric. All right, let's ink this thing and then see what we got. Which pen am I going to use? And these are brush pens. I said I'm going to do a review on these things. So far, they're pretty good. I've been using them, and I wanted to use them for a minute to see their flaws. That way I can compare them to what I usually use, which is the, what is this thing? Faber-Castell. I hope I'm saying that right. But these things have gotten crazy, stupid expensive, like $6 for one. And I think I got a pack of 12 for like $8 or $9. I'll check it out. But yeah, it's just like, yeah, trying to save some money here. Did I just have this one? 1, 2, 3. That's the fat brush one. And I said these are really good because you can go from a really, really, really thin line to like a thick line. And then they're really good for like feathering because you have that fat end goes to the thin. So yeah, I just don't know how long it's gonna take for the nib to wear out. So I wanna do that first. I wanna see. how long it lasts. All right, so this is gonna be rough because I can't see my lines. So always turn your paper when you ink. Pull your pen or whatever you use. Don't push it. Try not to make a whole circle in one little setup. But I'm kind of rushing this, but I'm just giving you some pointers. Always pull it, don't push it. And a lot of times I don't try to ink the whole line. I'll just ink a little piece and then call that quits and then adjust and then retry to ink something else. And then my seam, that's my seam line. It's gonna go right here. And you notice it's usually a V, the letter V. It depends on how tight it is from an anchor point. You have more wrinkles coming out. And the shirt is bulging out of the jeans like that. And then you have your V's right there to show. The chest is like bulging. So wherever it's pushing against, whatever your fabric is pushing against, be the chest, the shoulder, you're gonna see some kind of, and it's not gonna work because this is a piece of paper. If this paper was flat, but if I try to put something under it, you'll see like the bulge coming from that point. So that leads to your wrinkles and your shadows. And the way that it is pulled, so it's gonna be kind of, I can do something like this. Right where the chest is, stop at the chest and then a couple pulls, so I can have this like this, and then a couple pulls from the center, curve that around. That should have been right at the bottom. So we have this going up, there's that V again. It could have been more round. So, see right here. Brian, push the pen on the paper. Stop being so scared. And because he's leaning forward a little bit and his abs are going in, I will do something like this. Showing that abs are bending in. You could do this, would be like shadow, where the rib cage. And as I said, that would be shadow here. And the same thing if I did abs, that would be more shadow. I said I wasn't going to show you that yet. Too much too soon. A little bit right there. And then the pants. Where is it at? Belt hook. Do belt hooks. And then an extra seam. And a lot of this you don't do unless you are doing, really a close-up. Because if you're doing a small panel, you really won't need that much detail, like all of the stitching. The extra seam down here, you see how small that button is. So if I took this drawing and I shrunk it down comic book size, you would lose a lot of that detail. So you don't have to go too crazy. You just want to make it look right. And keep moving. I probably won't ink the whole thing. I'll just to close, since it's a closed tutorial. Am I on camera and I'm focused? And just a couple at the knee. It's not really bending that much, so just fold here. Coming down here, the thigh. And jeans usually don't have, a lot of jeans are just, you won't see this house kind of thing, but you can put it in there. Usually it's just smooth. It has this, and then depending on what side is pulling, you'll have from that. The other side can usually be smooth with just a few lines. So the bending side would have more pulls from it. So let's just say like something like this. I'm throwing my paper all around and forgetting that I have a camera. There, and then, I mean, if it's tight like here, then you put some kind of those pull lines, but don't worry about that for now. And then here. Kind of some rushing now. Messing up on my, put that other pocket. That's where the seam would come in at. And I'm looking. Maybe something where the knee is. Looking. A little more definition for the abs, just a little definition for the abs. Okay, got the chest, this part, there. So, as far as ink, I think it's pretty much done. Is there a seam at the top of jeans? I think, but it's darken that to show the top of the jeans. Clothes are tucked in. All right, let's do this because the chest is there, so that's going to be like shadow, and you're going to pass these lines. You're not going to go through these little stretch lines. But as I say, if I shadowed or colored it, that would be shadow. This is thicker. This is the pinch right there, which goes into that stomach. So I think that's going to be it for this. I'm not going to ink the person, just the clothes, because that's what I want you to focus on. And go back and look at the first video that I did. I'm going to leave a link, and that will explain a lot more about, you know, these wrinkles and so forth, and bends and folds. But I'll get a little more into that in the next video, because I just jumped into this one and just started drawing wrinkles and so forth. But as I say, go back, check that one out. You'll understand. So when I get to the next one, if I just touch on it just slightly, you'll understand it. If I and don't go into detail about it, you'll understand it. All right, so we have that and this. Clothed and unclothed. So I'm going to end this video right here. I'm looking in the monitor now, see if anything else that I might need to do. I don't see it. And as I go, we'll get more into stuff like doing patterns, and like if this guy had a picture on his shirt, what would the picture look like with the wrinkles and so forth, and yeah, other clothes. All right, so that's it. I'm gonna throw the pins down, and leave a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave a comment, and especially subscribe. Help me to grow this channel. Tell people, tell your friends, tell whoever, tell grandma, tell somebody to subscribe. Make grandma an account and then have her subscribe. So that's gonna be it. Let me take this down because this is gonna be my shot, my whatever you call that thing. So yeah, that's it. Class dismissed. See you later. I'll start rambling if I don't. Okay, wait. There's one very important thing I forgot to do, and that was erase the muscle underneath the fabric or the clothes. So that's already done. So this is what it looks like when you are done. So as I said, you really won't need all that muscle. The reason you would do the muscle or just a light coating of muscle is just to show where some of your shadows would be. But after you're done, you're gonna have this, so all that muscle you really didn't need. But I mean, it looked good. And for me to draw it, like I said, it's a 2-for-1. So you get 2 videos or 2 lessons in one. So now that's gonna be it. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.